What's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy during this entire quarantine, and I hope you guys are staying clear of the coronavirus and not listening to anything Trump says. I am still alive, so you guys don't have to cry anymore. So right now, I said that I was going to be talking about books and movies that were considered favorites of mine when I was growing up, as well as movies or books that inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. And what better yet to do a movie review based off of one of my favorite movies of all time, The Terminator. Now, this movie came out in 1984. It was written and directed by James Cameron. It was also written by Gail Ann Hurd, who at the time was with James Cameron at the time before he went off with Linda Hamilton. And this was before James Cameron became big. Like, this was the movie that put him in the spotlight. Before, he was only known for directing Piranha 2: The Spawning, which you can consider a guilty pleasure. I haven't seen it yet, but I hope to see it sometime in the future. And James Cameron described it as, quote, the greatest flying piranha movie ever, which, if James Cameron's behind it, then I have no choice but to believe him, really. Okay, so this movie, if you guys don't know, this movie is about a woman named Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton, and she comes across this man named Kyle Reese, who was sent back from the future to protect her. And Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as the Terminator, T-101, who has been sent back in time to kill Sarah Connor because her future son, as Kyle Reese describes it to her, is the leader of the resistance against the machines. That's really all you need to know about this whole film, as far as plots go. Oh my god. This is one of the greatest movies ever made. I am not kidding. This film is filled to the brim with action that I just cannot help but love, especially I got to give major credit to the casting, because Linda Hamilton, despite being a regular woman who's working a very small job as a waitress, serving food, who has a roommate, she doesn't have a lot going for her. Then all of a sudden she realizes, oh my god, she's the mother of the future, basically. The leader of the whole resistance in a nuclear war that's about to happen. And these two guys come in. One of them's trying to kill her. One's trying to protect her. And it's crazy. But guys, I'm sure a lot of credit can be given to Arnold Schwarzenegger himself for taking on this role, because before he was only known for Conan the Barbarian, basically. Which is fine, I guess. I've seen pieces of it, and I think it's fine. And this movie put him in the spotlight. I'll be back. Also, one of the most famous quoted lines was said in this movie. And if you guys don't know, originally that line in the movie was actually originally written as "I'll come back." So glad they changed that, because that would have gone many different ways. But okay, I gotta say, my favorite part of this whole movie, yes, I like this person better than Arnold Schwarzenegger, better than Linda Hamilton, better than anybody. Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese. Oh my god. You gotta give this guy major credit. I think he's kind of an underrated actor in a way. He did star in James Cameron's one of his later films, The Abyss, which I will review sometime in the future. But this Michael Biehn, you feel his alertness, you see the soldier within him, you even feel it. And I gotta give a lot of credit for him, because if he wasn't in this movie, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed this movie as much as if anybody else were in it. Because originally, the casting was switched. Michael Biehn was supposed to be the Terminator, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to be the guy trying to protect her. But I'm so glad they changed it up, because it works this way. Also, for James Cameron in the special effects department, that really worked too. Especially for the Terminator, because they didn't just go through CGI and just make it cheap. No, they actually built an actual model of the Terminator itself. So it's an actual exoskeleton that they made. And it was so realistic, so well done, that there's not a single second of this movie that I don't like. Even the scenes without the Terminator in them. Like the scenes where people are talking at the police station. Like when they find out that the Terminator is out after people named Sarah Connor, and they're discussing it. I was intrigued by that. Not one second of this is boring. Also, yeah, the police officers really well too. Also, I gotta say, my favorite scene in the whole movie is it's around the middle when Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese are at the police station, and the Terminator sneaks into a hotel room, and he's slowly repairing the damage that's done to the skin surrounding his exoskeleton. And he's cutting his arm open, cutting it open, and he's checking to see if the wires and all the metal gadgets in there are still working properly. And like in a way you're grossed out, but also you're drawn to the screen, like I can't look away because that's so cool. But one of the most memorable scenes is the one where he, has to cut his own eye out because it's damaged, and then you get that shot of his Terminator eye right behind it. Then he puts the sunglasses on. Oh my god, I love that scene so much. And that's really good special effects for the 1980s. So you can tell James Cameron really gave a shit about what he was making. It shows. You can tell James Cameron had a lot of fun making this. Let's see, what else could I tell you? There's a lot to talk about this film. Another scene that I really love is when Kyle Reese is explaining to Sarah Connor who the Terminator is, why it was sent back to kill her, and he's explaining all of the machinery to her and how it works, basically. Not only is he explaining it to her, he's explaining it during a car chase. So you feel the alertness, like she's getting all this information in the most dramatic and most intriguing way possible. Because if he was just sitting down with her telling it to her, it's like, okay, you're just basically, like, it would have just been expositional. It would have just been an exposition scene, basically. But the way they presented it here, it's different. Because the way Kyle Reese is explaining it to her during a car chase is because, okay, I have to tell you this information right now, or otherwise it's not going to make sense. So you can feel the alertness within him. He has to get this out and tell her everything while it's trying to kill them. Which is why it doesn't feel like an exposition. It feels like an emergency. It feels like an emergency line that they had to give them. Like, hey, I have to tell you this right now. There's no other time for me to tell you. We're not going to be able to rest. And particularly, they hardly ever rest. I mean, yeah, they do sleep They do sleep outside of a sewer line at some point in the film, and they go to a hotel. But other than that, they hardly get a chance to sit down and rest. Hardly ever. So I really bought all of it. And I gotta say, you guys, if you ever get a chance to watch The Terminator, please do. I'm sure a lot of people are disappointed with Dark Fate that came out this year, but please do not hold that against this film. And quite frankly, I enjoy Dark Fate, which I will review that in the future. I'll review all the Terminator films if you guys want to. Please let me know in the comments below if you want me to review all the films, all the Terminator movies. But guys, The Terminator is one of my favorite films of all time. It's the reason why I am reviewing movies today. It's the reason why I love films to begin with. It got me inspired to read books and also kind of write my own stories. And guys, I am very happy to give The Terminator an A+. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And please look forward to more of my book reviews and movie reviews very soon. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to review for you guys. I will review some more favorites of mine, definitely. So you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys later on.